gotta reload the page. Right. Give it a second for people to come on in. See if I can hear anything. Can anybody hear me? All right. Anybody in there? Warrior. Yeah, isn't that something? C. Roy Jenkins did that for me today. We already got it up. Just kind of waiting right now so we get a couple more people in here. And then we'll get started. Lab coats in the chat room. You are the best, young warrior. The best. That's why tonight I got something special for you. Chicken Cordon Bleu. That rhymes. I also got some more cool updates. The first update is the face cam. A buddy of mine made that video for me, C. Roy Jenkins. He'll probably be in the chat here in a sec. And he's doing these videos for me, and he's doing it for free. But he's gonna trick out my page, and then he's gonna use it as his portfolio. He's a photographer. He's been doing all those things. So yeah, he did the photography, he did all of the editing, he did the little video clip. He's done a lot of my lighting. He's the guy to go to if you want your Twitch to look taut. All right, I think we are ready to start. Let's go to the cutting board cam. All right, so on the menu today, the chicken Cordon Bleu. And I figured if we got time, and I'm sure we will, we can actually do a couple more stuffed chicken options. Maybe I have a little bit of, I think I still have a little bit of sun-dried tomato. We could use another kind of cheese. All kinds of cool shit. Young Warrior is at work right now and also in the stream. That's amazing. Let's see. Yep, I do have just a little bit more sun-dried tomatoes, so we can do two different options. Let's see what we got today. So, we've got ham. So that's spiral ham that's sliced, and it's also got pieces in it. Interesting. We'll see what's going on in there. But the ham itself, you can see, actually looks pretty good. A lot of fat in there, more fat than you would normally get, and that's great. Fat equals flavor. We got a nice little block of Swiss cheese. Now, for those who don't know, chicken Cordon Bleu in French means blue ribbon. Now, what I find ironic about it is that it was actually created or first popped up in Switzerland in the late 40s. So it's actually not a French dish, it's a Swiss dish. And it consists of chicken that has been some way cut, and then it is stuffed with the ham and also with Swiss cheese. So, what we're going to be doing today is starting with our chicken to make this Cordon Bleu. Now, a lot of Cordon Bleus, they can be done lots of different ways. There was one called a bulletproof Cordon Bleu, which was actually, you could put it in the deep fryer. My buddy Michael Amore, one of my teachers from culinary school, actually taught me that technique. And he used to call it bulletproof because they were just these big bowling balls of chicken Cordon Bleu. But they did work well. Today, I'm going to try and minimize the amount of gluten for Meej and for anyone else who's trying that. And I also did a really cool, what was that? It was a chicken parmesan. I did a really cool chicken parmesan with this coating that I made out of flax meal and parmesan. And I think it would work well for this application. So we're actually going to try that today as well. So let's see. Where's my flax meal? So we're going to use Bob's Red Mill flax meal. And yeah, packed with potential. So we're going to get our mise en place together first. I'm actually going to turn our oven on because we're also going to do some delicious roasted vegetable medley with a little bit of bacon and Brussels sprouts, rutabagas, and some marble potatoes. So I'm going to get my oven going. And I'm going to set that to 375. Next we're going to go over to the cutting board. We'll start doing our mise en place for putting these things together. First I'm going to open up the ham here, see what the hell we got going on. Like I said, it says pieces, so it might be a little strange. Yeah, plenty of ham pieces there, but the quality looks pretty damn good. Now, this is a good... Wow, that looks literally like just a spiral ham. That's awesome. So, this is a good tip for saving money, because I got this whole pack for under $3. It's a pound and a half of ham for under $3. And it's just the not pretty parts. But the not pretty parts, like I said, have all that delicious fat on them and stuff like that. So that's good for us. And actually, we don't even need to chop it up or anything. It's ready to go. So goodbye on that one. Next, we're going to go to the Swiss cheese. Now, a lot of people would do it in a like a slice. But as you can see, this one, I got it for $3.55 a pound. Sorry, it's upside down. Keep forgetting. $3.55 a pound, and that's a pretty fair block of Swiss as well. And you can get way more value by just not buying the sliced stuff. The sliced stuff, gosh, I think it was almost in the range of $5 or $6. Same amount, just sliced. Seems ridiculous. So, I've got my Swiss cheese, and what I think I'm going to do today is I'm going to do a couple of different versions of this, like different ways that you can actually stuff these things. But the first one I'm going to do is called a bâtonnet. And bâtonnet is a French cut, which basically means batons. And they're probably, I'd say like that. So, we have these little batons. And that'll be good for the tunnel version of what I'm going to do. So, when we go to the chicken breast, there you can slice it open or you can tunnel it. And I'll show you how to do both. We're going to continue to cut these little bâtonnets. Alright, we got all those. Next I'm going to cut a couple of slices so we can do them that way as well. I'm going to be really careful because these knives are extremely sharp. There we go. Nice slice of cheese. We don't have a ton of chicken today, so I don't need to use all of this. So I can take that and use it for later. Everybody's at work today, except for Operative 9. Operative 9 is at work at home. So if you're coming in late, this is ham. Unfortunately, I still cannot get the proper balance of color on this board. I don't know what it is. It's a weird color. We'll keep working on it. Alright, so now that we have the mise en place with the cheese out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and put this in here. I want to try and minimize cross-contamination from the boards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all of these in little containers. Get all that clean. Then I'm going to sanitize this board. Get my bucket going. If you don't have a sanitizer solution at home, you can always use bleach, and you want to use about 1/3 of a cap. So I would say, like, what is it, a teaspoon per gallon?
Something like that.
So, and that'll actually work as a sanitizing solution as well. Next we're going to go and we're going to start working on our chicken. I'm going to show you, there's a lot of important steps to the chicken. So we got chicken breasts here. These ones are actually pretty nice sized. So the thicker they are, the better in this situation. I mean, what situation is it not better? Thicker's always better, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Brittany. I bet you that's Brittany.
Britsky J. Oh, yep, that sounds like Brittany.
All right, everybody's sneaking in on it. So, I don't know why I decided to do this at 3. I think it's so we would have some time to hang out afterwards, but we might end up changing the hours on this one because it seems like we're catching everybody at work. So, now we got our beautiful little chicken breasts. So, chicken breast obviously is bezeled, and any of these things, like these little things on the edge, we can take off and we can actually save them and use them for other things. But I'm just going to clip off some of the fat here and make the chicken breast a little bit more, I don't know, manageable, I suppose. There's also a little bit in here that can kind of get annoying. It's like a little tiny bit of cartilage, but I'm not going to worry about that too much. Just going to get these guys cleaned up. Taking off the little fat bits, and you can actually leave them on if you want. I mean, fat does equal flavor, but sometimes they can turn into kind of a gristle. So these two I'm going to reserve for the tunneling. Now, when I'm going to tunnel, you can see there's a fat bit right here, and that's where we want to go in. And we're going to make an insertion about yay big. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay it down flat on the board, and I'm going to run my knife into it directly. You can use a utility chef knife like this one, or you can also use a boning knife like this one, depending on how good you are with a knife. These ones work a lot better. It's a thin blade, so it works in way better, and you want to make sure it's a really sharp blade too. Sorry, I'm not used to talking and doing this at the same time. And then you see you got this little hole. We're actually going to widen that out just a little bit more, just so that we can fit the stuff into it. All right. So, you run your finger in there, and, oh, that's graphic. So we're going to run our finger in there, make sure that we got a nice little pouch. You can see there's a fine pouch there. So we're going to take the stuff that we mise-en-placed and just stick it right in. I'm going to add one of these all the way in. Now this one is kind of a better strategy for this particular thing because it doesn't really ooze out. Like if you, the other way we're going to do it, it has a potential to fall out. All of the inside stuff once it starts melting. So I'm going to add 2 little bâtonnets in there, and then I'm going to go for the ham. Now ham slices, let's see, that looks like a pretty nice one. See if we can fit that in there all the way through. So we got time. Apparently you guys are cracking up Thekus over there. I'm sure there are all kinds of inappropriate comments going on right now. I don't even want to turn around. There's nothing going on over there. What are you cracking up about? Oh, there we go. How did I know that it was going to be Bear Grylls that had something to say about that? I'm going to go ahead and throw another little sorry. I'm going to go ahead and throw another piece of ham in there. Jam it in there real good. Alright, so squeeze her down a little. And now we got a nice little packet of chicken and other junk. I'm going to do it with the other knife just to prove that I can. That is the timer for our oven, so the oven is now ready to go, but we're not quite ready to use it. Oh, see, I actually poked a little hole in here, and that's not bad. It's not ideal, but it's not awful. Actually, I can just show you guys the other technique I was going to do with this one. I'm just going to continue to run the blade halfway through, and I'm going to butterfly it. So you can see it's kind of butterflied here. I'm just going to continue to make a little bit of an incision until it's all the way through. And I don't want it to go all the way through. I just want to butterfly it. So this way is a little bit easier, and we can use our slices. So I'm actually going to cut this in half, kind of like a triangle shape, and run it across like this. We'll add a couple more pieces of ham. And then you can close it up. And that's the secondary way that we do this chicken. But as you can see, way more open space, way more stuff hanging out, way more opportunity for the filling to ooze out.
DePaul has a question for you actually about last week's mac and cheese.
Sure. Let's see.
He wanted to know about the onion salt substitute, but he couldn't remember the specific amount, or if you had said a specific amount.
So, I didn't actually say a specific amount. It kind of is to taste, if you like. You're talking about the, gosh, what was it? The garlic salt was for the original, or the box mac, right?
Yeah, it was for the middle one, I believe, with the chicken biscuit.
Did we put it in there? I thought we used the PK for that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no, you could substitute. Okay. Yeah, so he's talking about that one. So you can substitute. I would say with that particular recipe, I would probably add, go ahead and strain. So with that particular recipe, I would probably say about a teaspoon, or maybe a teaspoon and a half. And then you can, since it's bechamel, actually Mornay, since it's Mornay, you can taste it right out of the pan. So you can really do it to your taste. You don't have to specifically follow the recipe on that one. But I would say about a teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half to my taste. Your taste is going to be different. Thicus is drinking my energy drink. All right, so back to the board. I'm going to continue to clean these chickens and stuff them. Now this doesn't really take as much prep as you might think. You can actually get this done pretty quickly at home by yourself. And once you figure out how you want to make the hole and how you want to do it, you can actually bang this out pretty quick. I'm going to try and... This one's kind of fat, so I'm going to go ahead and tunnel this one as well. Right through the thickest part. And kind of guide your knife through. And I can feel the knife inside of there. So I'm just going to kind of push it through slowly and make sure that I don't make any holes. And if you do, it's not really a big deal. It's just another place for the cheese to come out. So it won't be as pretty as we'd like. But it'll definitely still be delicious. All right. Did we get... Okay. So we're going to have to ask the ball to get us into what we need. So we don't have any heading on our stream. We don't have like a chicken Cordon Bleu, and then we also need to probably get into IRL because we're just out there in the nothing again.
In the back of the nothing.
And
nothing.
I think the ball can do that. I think so. That's a fat piece of ham.
Ooh. Looks like the ball updated us with a stream game has been updated.
Nice. What is going on with that? Oh, I see. We got some weird shadows going on over here now.
Yeah. It's getting kind of dark.
Okay, there we go.
We promise we will get that fixed, folks.
Yeah, we've been working on all kinds of lighting options and things. There's a lot of stuff that goes into this. Even little weird lighting sources and things like that. And I mean, it gets down to, I have to get used to also working with these lights in my face and working around it. So, but I mean, we got our cameras set up. We're close. We're close to making this a viable, cool stream. And thanks to everybody who's been helping out. DeBall is amazing. C-Roy Jenkins, man, that guy has been working so hard for us. And, he does this stuff for a living, too, so he doesn't have to help us out. But he's, a good friend of mine. And he's going to use this as his portfolio to hopefully get into Twitch. Awesome. DeBall is fixing it up for us. As /game/child to change them through Nightbot. Sweet. I met DeBall through the Warriors, and I got to tell you, man, DeBall is far and away the best moderator that I've ever seen. And I am so fortunate that he has taken his time out of his day to help on our stream. That warrior love, let me tell you, those warriors are the best people ever. Okay. Now we got our chicken all set up for the Cordon Bleu. I'm going to go ahead and grab a plate, set those aside so that we can set up an egg wash station. And we're going to have to egg wash these guys and then make the batter and get it going from there. Now traditionally, chicken Cordon Bleu is actually a pan-seared dish, or you can also bake it. But today, we're going to do the pan-seared method, and I'm going to try and use that technique that I had found the other day. I've actually never, really worried about gluten or anything like that, but recently I've been doing the ketogenic diet, and it's not so much gluten as just carbs. So I've been trying to find ways to cut out carbs, but still, maintain good food. Like I definitely want to eat food that doesn't suck. And that's really the way to survive a diet, honestly. Is to just be able to have food that is delicious instead of, diet food. People go on diets and they think like, oh, I can only eat this cardboard or this chicken that's not seasoned or things like that. And, everybody's got different dietary needs, but for the most part, I've done just about every diet you can imagine. Sometimes just for the fun of it. Sometimes I just want to see how that person has to live. And I did vegetarian, and I gained weight because being a vegetarian is easy. And then Thikas actually really enjoyed that one. You actually enjoyed the vegetarian diet.
Yeah, I lost lots of weight. It was nice.
Yeah, and but I usually go for a month. I've gone for a month on a juice diet actually, where I did nothing but juice, and I lost a ridiculous amount of weight on that. But I also lost my will to live. I did it for 1 month, just juices, and actually, I lost about 70 pounds on that in a month, but gained a lot of it back really quick. And also just the last 8 days, I couldn't handle another juice. Hey, we got Madden House. C-Roy Jenkins is in there.
Oh, there he is.
There he is. This is the guy who did our amazing graphics and did them in time. And he looked like a zombie. Yes, I did, man. I was emaciated. I was not having a good day. I was not having a good week. So I'm going to put a little bit more water on this towel because it's starting to slip. Now, that's a pro tip right there. If you don't know, put a wet towel underneath your cutting board to keep it from sliding around. You can avoid accidents and stuff like that. All right, we're steady and ready to go. So, Corey, if you have any kind of website that you want to promote right now, we can give you the permission, and you can post any kind of links that you want to your work and things like that. And we definitely want you to get your name out for your work. So, all right. So we got the cordons done, and I'm actually going to start cutting up some vegetables for our vegetable medley. Sanitize our board, and I'm going to sanitize the knives right quick, and then we're going to go right back into it. All right. Well, as soon as, like I'm saying, C-Roy, as soon as you get that done, we are all about it. We'll We'll even put you up on our official page so that we can get you recognition for the stuff that you did. Because man, let me tell you, that new video, that new intro video, I love it. It looks great. It's a high quality photo, high quality image.
Should we throw it back up there?
Yeah.
Let's throw that.
He's there. We're gonna give it a shot. She wants to put it back up so that everyone can see it a couple times. See C-Roy Jenkins' work in action. Kombucha. Beakus had a little kombucha kick. There it is, man. That is a slick video. Like GoPro on the counter and everything. That was like two takes really, one for each outfit. It was really, really quick. Alright, we're ready to go back to the camera. But yeah, that's a slick video, yeah. Isn't it, the ball? Amazing. I am so fortunate to have cool people around me, talented people around me. And they really are going to take this to the next level. I'm really blessed in that way. So we've got some marble potatoes here. And these are going to go all into one thing. We're going to put those all into our roasted vegetable dish. So they're all about the same size. Some of them a little different. But they're called marble potatoes. And they're actually pretty cheap. And they give you these pretty colors. We've got purple Peruvians, we've got waxy reds, and these little tiny baby Yukons. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut those in half. And we'll cut all of them in half. So this particular dish, you know, in French cooking, it's almost always the same thing. It's always meat, or just protein in general, starch, and vegetable. And this particular dish I'm going to make takes care of two of those things at once. This is also one of those things that I want to get up on my, because, you know, we're leading up into Thanksgiving, and I really want to get a little list of side dishes that you can do on Thanksgiving. The mac and cheese, and obviously this dish right here goes great at Thanksgiving because it works well with turkey. It works well with prime rib. It works well with anything that you're serving. And I actually do this every Thanksgiving myself. And it is there's rarely any of it left. Which, if you are eating a Thanksgiving feast, it's pretty impressive that people will wreck through the vegetables before the meat.
We always eat the vegetables before the meat when Op's cooking.
Vegetables are good. Vegetables. Vegetables, everybody. Alright, I got a couple bowls here. Let me get my taters into the bowl. You can see they got really cool colors. They got really cool patterns inside. It's pretty neat. Once I get the olive oil on that, the colors are gonna pop even more. And this is one of those non-traditional dishes that you can do at Thanksgiving that is really going to wow your family and whoever else comes along. I mean, when I do Thanksgiving, that is my holiday, man. No spinach. No spinach, Britt. We save that for you. So, Brittany, what a lot of people don't know about Brittany because they don't know her is that she's actually allergic to spinach. And I actually fed her spinach. But she lived, unfortunately, and now here she is, bombing my stream. Nah, we love Brittany. Okay, next thing I'm going to cut up. Brussels sprouts. Now, as you can see, I am not a rich man, so this is how many Brussels sprouts we got. We're going to cut them in half. It should be just fine. I got a day to go till payday, and let me tell you, we are not making a bunch of money right now. But I still need to make fresh, vibrant, beautiful food for you guys, because that is what I really like to do. So I'm going to cut the little ends off here, and not a bunch either. I mean, a very fine amount off the end of that. And really all it's doing is taking off the oxidization and really kind of just getting rid of some of the dirt from when it's traveled. Cut that in half. All right. So you can add any vegetables that you want to this dish. I mean, I use mostly root vegetables and Brussels sprouts, of course, because I love Brussels sprouts. But you can use onions. Actually, we're probably going to use most of the things that I would use. But you know, rutabagas, parsnips, carrots, any of those things are really good for this particular dish. Now, if you don't have a peeler, this, by the way, is a turnip. And if you don't have a peeler, I can show you a way to do it without a peeler. So what we're going to do is we nip the tips off, yeah? And then we're going to run our knife along the outside like this. I got my finger out here. Not how I would traditionally cut, but we're just going to slowly run it down the side of the vegetable. And we're going to peel that peel right off. The goal is to get as little of the actual meat of the vegetable and to get that skin off. But I'm just literally running my knife down the contour of the vegetable. This is the way that we peel a lot of things in a professional kitchen. Watermelons, mangoes, vegetables, apples, things like that. I mean, we do have peelers, but in a pinch, that's the way to go. Now, the meat of this thing is very, very firm, so I got to be careful when I'm doing this part right here because I don't want to cut my finger off. You can always just turn it upside down and use the exact same technique as you did before. But I like to live dangerously. Secret agent chef. You know, I've done some things in my time. I'm going to cut those up into fairly bite-sized pieces. Turnips. What other turnip dishes have you had, Thekus? Like,
oh, I don't know.
yeah,
Probably whatever you snuck it into.
Yeah, I feel like turnips don't get enough play. They're delicious and super healthy, full of vitamins, and just kind of lost to time, really. Throw that into my bowl as well. Turnips, rutabagas, things like that. These root vegetables are just like amazing, and they just are not really part of the American diet. As you can see now, we're already starting to get some pretty cool color in there. Speaking of rutabagas, I got 2 rutabagas. Now, so far, aside from the chicken, every single thing that I bought today for this stream allowed me to walk out of the store paying around $18. And that's including energy drinks and all. You know, all of the vegetables, all of the cheese, the ham, about $18. So you can go to the store, and if you really look around and you really know what you're looking for, you can make really good meals for you and your family, and you don't have to pay a lot. Maybe someday I'll actually get a mobile camera, and we can actually go to the store, and I'll show you just what to look for. We're going to peel this in the exact same way. This is a rutabaga. In the exact same way as we did the turnip. Just like so. once again, we are getting our mise en place together. So that when it comes down to the actual cooking, we will be ready to go. Alright. Got him peeled. Rutabagas. I don't know a lot of people who eat rutabagas either. I think most people don't even know what rutabagas are. Like, at least we all know what turnips are from Mario Brothers 2, you know? But,
Leroy Jenkins says he'll shoot a non-live shopping episode.
we can do that, yeah. We're also working on, I gotta get this stuff going on YouTube. And we're also gonna get some non-streaming stuff going on YouTube, as well as our streams.
A7G7 wants to know, is it a potato?
It is not a potato. It is a root vegetable that is a lot like a, gosh, what's it like? Well, honestly, it's a lot like a turnip, but it also has the consistency of sort of like a daikon radish, maybe a little bit thicker, a little bit more dense, and the flavor is kind of like a radish as well. But yeah, root vegetable rutabaga. Gonna throw away my trash here before I cut all that up. We're going to cut these in the exact same way as we cut the other guys. It's good to see you, by the way, A7. How's it going over there? Over there at the Playmakers Union. Alright, I'm spending a lot of time on the cutting board today, so I really don't have chat in my face right now. So I apologize if I'm not responding. Thekus has got it. Chat wizard. So did you try to change the game?
What?
So she can just, I think you can just type !game.
No, that was Debal. Debal played around with the game, but I can't access the game on mobile.
I still don't have it on mine, so I can't tell if it's up. Might need a reload. But yeah, I just hit the button and I start going.
Where? Right here?
Yep. Yeah, I just hit the button and start going, and I don't even think about things like, you know, oh yeah, there we are, IRL chicken cordon bleu. Yeah. Thank you so much to Ball. You did it. You're amazing.
It is IRL. We are not in the depths of...
Yes, we are now in IRL.
We exist, guys.
All right, man, that camera. I so do not like this camera. I don't know what it is.
I'm going to get about 16 lights and shine it on there.
I don't know, it just seems a little washed out today. But, like, check it out. So go to the face cam.
Face... Okay, hold up.
Like, the actual color of things works so much better with this cam than the other one. And I just got to fiddle with the settings, but, yeah, we got all these beautiful...
It disappeared.
Wow, okay. So the face cam is gone now. Good old OBS. Yeah, it's completely gone. Nice.
Bring it over to this camera.
What? No, it's fine. Just a second. Let me fix it.
Un momento, por favor.
Oh, it's not even on there anymore. Video capture device. Yeah, not even on there anymore. So
you guys, OBS deleted our camera.
What are you doing over here? So we're gonna add a video capture box. We're gonna add our video capture device. Okay. And now it just doesn't want to put anything on there. Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like OBS is about to crash. Of course it will. Of course it will. At least the stove cam still works. All right.
I think cutting board's good too. It's just not your face.
just check the cutting.
She just doesn't like you. Okay. Which video capture number is it?
I'm so ugly, I broke the camera. Alright. At least we got a little bit more cutting to do anyway, so that's fine. A very chesty woman. That is a girl hugging a heart. You deviant.
I mean, it could be you, Brittany.
Right, I'm cutting up bacon now. But we can't tell that because, you know. There we are. Transitioning to the bacon can.
Bacon can.
So I got this bacon at the grocery store, and it was like bulk bacon. And it's bulk pepper bacon, and it's actually really good quality. We eat this one a lot. But I got this for under $3 as well. And this is some good quality bacon, quite a bit of it. My mom is like that too. She's like a grocery store whisperer. She can always find these intense deals. And my dog won't shut up. My dog thinks that anyone who's in the park across the street is violating his personal space. So, all right, we got our bacon now chopped up. I'm going to go ahead and grab a pan and get that going. We're going to render out the fat. And we can actually save that and use it for later. But right now, we just want to render out some of the fat so that we don't have these kind of gross $300 bacon.
$300 bacon?
It's under $3 for bacon. $300,000 bacon. That's some damn good bacon. So I'm going to scoop all this up and we're going to go over to the stove. Put it on here. Get it rendered out. I cannot wait until we get some money to get some better pots. Our pots and pans are busted. No. $300 worth of bacon would be roughly, going by the price that I get at work, it would be probably like what? 50 pounds, maybe 75 pounds. Yeah, you can buy 75 pounds worth of bacon for $300. Alright. So I'm not adding any fat to this pan, obviously, because the bacon is so fatty itself and it's going to start rendering out. And we're not going to have to worry about it sticking at all. So while I'm working that, I'm going to go back and I'm going to dress our vegetables. I dress those vegetables pretty simply, actually. I use some olive oil. Good bit of that. And the reason why I'm adding olive oil is because not only do I want it to make the vegetables crispier, but I also use this to make the ingredients stick. So I want my herbs to stick on it. I want all those other things to stick properly. So today, let's see, what should I use? I'm going to get flax meal all over the counter. Today I'm going to use, let's see, well, use some Italian seasoning. So this particular Italian seasoning has rosemary in it, oregano, basil, and probably parsley. Just going to use a little bit of that. And I'm actually going to use a tiny little bit of ground fennel. You can get all these in the store for a pretty cheap price tag. Are you working on that cam at all?
I'm trying.
Okay.
It just unfroze.
Nice. All right. Just having all kinds of problems over there.
I am trying.
Let's see. So I'm then gonna also add a tiny bit of brown sugar. That's all right because we're all working on one camera, so.
I think the only way to get it is to actually restart OBS.
Well, we'll be fine. So I'm adding a little tiny bit of dark brown sugar. Gonna sweeten it up a little. And I don't know if you know this, but sugar and bacon are amazing. You get the salty smokiness from the bacon, and you get the molasses and brown sugar flavor from the brown sugar, and they mix together just perfectly with vegetables. What? Oh, great. So we are slowly losing cameras left and right. We're now down to one camera and you're looking at it. So I guess we're just gonna, yeah. All right, next I'm gonna add some kosher salt. I use Morton kosher salt. And the reason why I use kosher salt is because I like the grain and the texture, and it's what I use at work. So we're gonna add about probably a tablespoon of the brown sugar and probably, I'd say, a teaspoon and a half of the salt. Everything else is just to taste. Probably, I would say, a teaspoon of the ground fennel, and the Italian seasoning, you can go up to a tablespoon. So then I'm going to add a little bit of cracked black pepper. Nice bit of cracked black pepper. Then I'm going to get handsy with it. Just going to go right in there and get all of the vegetables coated up with the seasoning. All right. So those are all coated and ready to go. Hope and the Beast just came into the chat. Boy, I will tell you, we are having all kinds of problems. All of our cameras are dying. But we're still cooking. That's how we go. Alright, this bacon, which smells fantastic, by the way, it's starting to render out. You can see the fat, good amount of it coming off of it. You can save that later for soups and stocks and all kinds of things. I like to do it with eggs in the morning. So get that smoky bacon flavor in your eggs in the morning. We're going to continue to render that out. Yeah, OBS, man. It's failing me today. Probably needs a restart, but I had an update today, and that's why we were a little late. We were about 10 minutes late because the OBS was just updating. And since it started updating, it's slowly turning into a potato. I add a little bit of garlic salt, or a little bit of onion salt too, just for the hell of it. You know what? Let's add an onion. We'll just put an onion right in there. Chop up this onion real quick. Over here on the cutting board. I'm not too worried about cross-contamination here since it's all going into the exact same place. And it's all going to cook for about half an hour. So,
87G7, can you use onion salt? ?
Oh, of course. I actually did put a little bit of onion salt in there. And then I just thought to myself, why don't we put a whole onion in there? Oh yeah, onion salt exists. Onion salt, onion powder, all different kinds of onion stuff. Anything you can imagine. Take a trip down your spice aisle sometime. And they really have all kinds of stuff now. I'm actually going to chop this into dice, which you can't see because that camera's broken as well. I'm going to put, it's a small onion, but I'm going to put the whole thing in. There we go. Our bacon's starting to get poppy. Now I don't want to render this all the way out and completely get it crispy because it is going to have to cook with those vegetables for, you know, a good 30 to 40 minutes. So I'm not going to take it all the way to cooked. Sriracha salt. That might be awesome. I don't see why we couldn't make it. Oh, there is a sriracha salt. That's ridiculous. So it says, I've got blue lights on this camera, but it's just not working.
I'm pretty sure it's OBS.
Yep. I'm going to take my strainer and strain out that fat. Now all this stuff on the bottom here is delicious. In other applications, which I'm sure we will see later, you can actually use that. So I'm just going to pop that right on the top of it. Now we got all these vegetables ready to go into the oven. I'm going to find a perfect vessel for that, which might be more difficult than I thought. I have no idea where that went. There we go. We'll just use a handy dandy Pyrex. Need to find the right size. Sorry, this would be way more interesting if we had more cameras. Okie dokie. So, we got our Anchor Pyrex. Pop that right on there. I'm going to make sure that we get all the seasonings out of the bottom of the bowl. Really work those in. Now the more space we have, the more open surface area, the more crispy it's going to get. Yeah, I'm alright, A7. Just kicking around trying to find pans and stuff. Now, see, I've got this really expensive microphone, and it picks up everything but what you want it to pick up. So, like, the sound of Pyrex moving around is super loud, but my voice sounds like I'm in the next room. So we still got a lot of things to work out over here in the agency, for sure. But as I was saying, I want to get the maximum amount of open heat exposure as possible. So I really want to get this flattened out. And at this point, if you feel like you need it, you can add a little bit more of the kosher salt or onion salt, a little bit more pepper if you like more pepper. I'm going to add a little bit more onion salt. I don't want to put it over the burner. Yeah, a little bit more onion salt and just a little bit more cracked black pepper. And then, as you can see, those colors are pretty nice. Yeah. So, oven at 375 degrees. In it goes. And I'm going to set a timer for 30 minutes. And we'll come check on it then. Since I only have this one area, I might as well keep it clean.
Oh, this camera's working.
Oh. The front-facing camera's working. All right. So now we need to add... We need to make the dredge for the Cordon Bleu. And I'm going to do that with the gluten-free option. And I also need to get a egg wash going. Now, for those who don't know what egg wash is, it is a mixture of eggs and water, and it actually allows for the coating to stick to the protein better. So, gotta try and stay away from that thing. So I got those two right there. Now what I'm going to add for our coating is the flax meal, Bob's Red meal, red flax meal, and that's going to be the base. So we're going to add a fair amount of that. Next, I'm going to drop cornstarch in. So right now we got a little bit over a cup of the flax meal and about a half of a cup of cornstarch. And then I'm going to add grated Parmesan cheese. Parmesan cheese is going to act as like a liaison in between the two things, so that it can continue to stick instead of just drying. So that's probably about a little bit over half of a cup of the parm. And I'm just going to mix that up with my hands. Now traditionally it's going to be salt and pepper and regular flour and cornstarch is going to be the batter for your regular one. And you can also add breadcrumbs too if you like. Panko breadcrumbs are really good. Seasoned breadcrumbs, you can get them for fairly cheap. And I'm just making sure that there's no cornstarch little clumps in there. I don't want the clumps. So squish those out. Next is the egg wash. Egg wash is literally just a couple eggs and some water. We need to get a fridge cam too.
And that means we have to keep our fridge clean.
Yeah, I better not do that. Our fridge is a nightmare. It's just got all kinds of like...
Actually, I want a Kiba cam.
Kiba cam?
A Kiba cam.
Well, maybe we should just work on keeping the cams that we have up.
Yeah. Sorry guys, I don't know. I seriously think it's OBS. I've been trying over here.
I think Thinkis just doesn't want to do transitions anymore, so... It's like, no man, it's broken, I swear. Oh, I can't figure it out.
I added complete new scenes to this thing. I tried to reinstall the
No man, I can't figure it out. I'm gonna go lay down. Let me know when the food's done. Alright. Okay, and I'm going to add just a splash of water in here. So I got 3 eggs and approximately a half a cup of water. Gonna beat that. Gonna beat it. Beat it.
This would be great if I knew how to do audio, you guys.
Yeah.
And I could actually play Beat It for you.
Yeah.
I have so many goals.
My sound tech is awful right now.
In training.
Sound tech in training. Okay. Now we have the 2 things. We got the dredge and we got the egg batter. What I'm going to do, let's see what we got first. This is the tunnel one we did earlier. So it's the tunnel. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it in my egg wash. Get it good and coated. And then I'm going to drop it into my dredge. What are you laughing at, Muttley?
Sugar. Just mad I took her wheel away.
Oh. We had to take the mice. We have 2 mice. We had to take their wheel out because they wouldn't stop making noise. They're upset. All right. I'm going to brush that off a little bit. Go ahead and throw it directly into another Pyrex. This one is slightly more difficult because it's the one that we cut open on the side. So I got to try and keep it closed while I dredge it. Okay, keep that closed and transfer it over to the other pan. And I got 2 more. This one's another tunnel. Those vegetables smell delicious.
This whole meal smells delicious.
All right. And we should have just enough for the last one. Flax meal is super high in omega-3s, which is a fatty acid that you definitely need in your diet. Helps with brain function, heart function. Super good for you. Anytime you can get flax into your diet, you should definitely try. It's also really super high in fiber, which helps you poop. Old people really like that fiber, you know. It's like the Metamucil. Maybe I'll actually show you guys both of the techniques for cooking these. The first one being on the stovetop in a pan on a skillet, and then the other one I'll have actually I'll do in the oven, baked. If you're one of those people who's like, I can't have oil, that's ridiculous, but. Yeah, it's easier. All right. Gonna keep my one area clean as possible. That is one thing, nice thing about this thing. It glares like hell, but really easy to keep clean. All right, time to get the pan out. Get my ugly old pan out, crank that on high just to get it heated up. I'm gonna add a little bit of coconut oil spray. Coconut oil is high in medium chain triglycerides, or MCTs as people like to call them. Super good for the heart. If you're gonna use oil, MCTs is probably the way to go. I'm gonna go ahead and get that pretty good. Actually, we're going to be going a little bit heavier on the oil today, so I'm actually going to use regular coconut oil as well. And I'll use about a tablespoon of that. These things tend to suck up oil with the amount of coating that's on the top of them. Good bit of coconut oil. You want to make sure, like the big controversy right now about coconut oil is that it needs to be responsibly sourced. Now, apparently there are vast swaths of the rainforest right now that are being cut down so that they can plant these trees that are basically used for harvesting coconut oil. and it's basically destroying the habitats of the animals in the rainforest that live there. So whenever you can, try to look for responsibly sourced coconut oils, because that sucks. You know, just because of the fad, basically. Like, I feel like coconut oil has blown up recently, and it'll probably go away. But make sure you get your coconut oil responsible. Now, I'm going to go ahead and turn this down to medium heat, or more towards medium high, because I don't want the stuff to burn when it goes in there, but I do want it to get nice and golden brown. I'm going to go ahead and add my first chicken in there, and this is an open one, so once again, you got to be pretty careful with it. Make sure it doesn't come out. And then I'll also do one tunneled one. All right. So we got those two working, and I'm going to go ahead and just spray this a little bit with the oil spray, coconut oil spray. And then I'm going to go ahead and toss that right into the oven. Same temperature as the vegetables, 375. Make some room for it. Pop right in. So the color on this one is obviously going to be superior because we're browning it in the pan as opposed to baking it. The good thing about browning in a pan is that you get the crispiness on the outside that you want, and it's almost guaranteed. Now, it's kind of a, I don't know how you would say it, but it's kind of like ridiculous to say that it's two different methods, because actually we're just frying this and it's going to go in the oven to finish anyway. Because of the thickness of the chicken, it's going to take a while for it to cook. And we would rather have that fully surrounded radiant heat than just the heat from the bottom of the pan. So we're going to go, after we get this thing all seared, we're going to put the whole thing in the oven anyway. So you can, I guess, take a step out of what you're doing and throw it directly into the oven if you want. I think personally it doesn't come out quite as good. Try and get that thing moved. All right. Well, looks like you just can't put things up with duct tape nowadays, can you? All right. I'm going to go ahead and flip these now. That looks nice. All right. So if you look closely at this, you can see that the Parmesan cheese has actually browned and gotten crispy, and it's actually holding together a good portion of the flax. It's going to be nice and crispy. It's going to get a great flavor to it. And actually what I'll do is I'll add a little bit of salt on the top of it now. You can also add the salt and the pepper and all that stuff into the mix that you're using. So when you make your dredge, you can add any seasonings you want. So as you can see, as the proteins have hardened on this one, they've started to push out the things that are inside of it, the ham and the Swiss. Whereas this one, it doesn't really have as much room to push it out. So I think the tunnel method is superior in this application. So, we also wanted to do another kind. I wanted to do one that utilizes a more shredded cheese and also a little bit of our sun-dried tomatoes. Ideally, you can add basil to this if you have it. You can add, I'll probably add some spinach in there. I guess you can't really complain about OBS too much. It is free software, but it's still, you know, you spend all kinds of money and trying to get a perfect stream, and then your OBS fails you. The free thing is the thing that fails. I wonder if there's another kind of streaming device that you can use, or streaming technology that you can use to...
I'm sure there are other ones that I'm sure it's not free.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure there are other not free ones. I'd rather pay for one and have it be consistent than have one that breaks down to a third of our podcast or a third of our stream in the first 20 minutes. All right. So I'm popping that whole pan into the oven, and you definitely want to make sure that your pans are, you know, heat safe, the handles are safe and whatnot. And I'm also over here getting ready to fill our other chicken breasts. Kind of like a Tuscan chicken sort of thing. Tech! How's it going, buddy? You over there playing in the Hopan show? Tech is my hero, man. That guy, he's a great guy to play with because he's got that strategy. He knows how to move. He can carry noobs like me. All right, so we have got these chickens ready to go. I'm gonna try and transfer what I'm doing over to my one working camera. So in this one, I'm going to take a couple of sun-dried tomatoes. So these are julienne cut sun-dried tomatoes. I don't have very much left because I use them a lot. But a little bit does go a long way. So they're packed in olive oil and they are super delicious.
Put them back under the camera and plate. No, I just didn't get because the camera's pushed back.
Okay. But yeah, California sun-dried tomatoes. You are too kind, Tech. Too kind. All right. So, what kind of cheeses do we have? We got a little bit of Parm.
We got a little bit of Mott's.
We got a little bit of Mott's. And we got a little bit of this
Colby Jack.
Colby Jack. All right. So, we're going to use Parm, Mott's, and Colby Jack. Because we like cheese on this here stream. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a separate bowl. And I'm going to add all three of the cheeses together. And then we can make them into like these little, I don't know how you would say them, into like a cheese pack. And it'll have the, here, I'll try and do it over here. We'll make it into like a little cheese pack, and it'll have the sun-dried tomatoes in it, and It'll be delicious. A little bit of our leftover mozzarella from pizzas past. That's what we should do. We should do a pizza stream. Show you guys how to make some bomb pizza.
Pizza. Oh, where's Mike at when you need him? Pizza,
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 pizza.
pizza.
He might be watching right now. Who knows?
You watching, Mike? That one was for you.
All right, so I got my sun-dried tomatoes in there. Not a lot, unfortunately, but that'll definitely get across the flavor I'm looking for. I'm going to add spinach. I'm just going to kind of squish it up because spinach is mostly water. And when you actually cook it up, it doesn't really have a whole bunch of pizza stream. All right, Tech. That's going to definitely be in the pipeline, man. We're definitely going to get that pizza stream going. So I'm just going to go ahead and take and mix all this stuff up. And I'm just going to put it right into our chicken.
Ooh. If we do a pizza stream, we're going to have to do that chanterelle pizza you make.
Oh, yes. So it's actually that season.
It's
So-
chanterelle.
Yep.
Yeah, chanterelle.
So out here in the Northwest, and no, I don't know much about other places, but in the Northwest right now, it's chanterelle mushroom season. And I don't know if you guys have ever tried chanterelle mushrooms, but they are like buttery, gold, amazing little things. And I make a pizza out of those that is probably some of the best pizza that I've ever personally experienced. And I actually formulated that recipe when I was running a wood-fired pizza place not too long ago. But it's made with a cream sauce, and it's got rosemary on it, and it's amazing. But yeah, we might be able to hack that one. Right now, I'm on a really tight budget because I spent all my money on cameras, but Cabenzis are a different varietal of mushroom, but I wouldn't recommend them for gourmet purposes. But yeah, Cabenzis.
I've never had Cubenzis.
You never had Cabenzis?
No.
You more of a psilocybin?
I don't even... To be honest, I'm not sure the different classifications of mushrooms. You know me, I'm not a food person.
Well, Cabenzis are psychedelic mushrooms.
Oh. Oh. Then maybe.
Man, that's one thing I've never tried to do. I've never tried to cook with, like, drugs, I guess. I've never really done, like, the weed butters and stuff like that. I mean, I've been around people that were doing it, but I've never actually tried to make anything delicious with it. Most of the time, especially with weed anyway, it just tastes like weed. But over here in Washington State, it is completely legal for us to do that, by the way. Your state might not be the same, so we do not promote or condone illegal drug use. So instead of running that through an egg wash and all that, I'm actually just going to leave it how it is. I'm going to add a little bit of the spray so that our seasonings stick. And I'm going to do kosher salt. Good bit of that. Remember, we're salting the entire protein here, so a little bit more salt than normal is actually healthy. So let's see, a little bit more Italian seasoning over the top here. This also will make it nice and pretty too. And I'm feeling sage. Sage goes very well with poultry. So I'm going to do just a tiny bit of sage on there. that too I can throw directly into the oven. Actually, my oven's pretty full right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pan sear these ones too. At least with pan searing, we know that we're going to get a way better color. And I'll do them in this guy. Don't have enough pans. All right. So you certainly could, at this point, just throw this directly in the oven, and it would be perfectly fine. I'm gonna put my spinach away. Luckily enough, the ketogenic diet actually, you can actually eat cheese on it, which is pretty impressive because a lot of other diets are cheese is a no-go, high-fat things are a no-go. Picus is raiding the refrigerator. She's hungry. All right, so we're gonna get that thing pretty well. Let's see if I can move this camera again. Every time I try to move this camera, it gets messed up. Stay. Okay, and then I'm going to take the chicken breast that we just stuffed.
It's sliding.
Of course it's sliding. Just going to put that face down onto the hot pan. This is going to give us a nice golden sear. So we can take those pretty pictures. Food pornography. And we want to keep a close eye on this, make sure it doesn't burn too much. The heat is up pretty high right now, so that's so that we can get that good sear on there. But that doesn't mean that we want it to get all black and crunchy. Keep that little guy in there. All right, that's pretty much what we're looking for, a nice golden color on there. You can see right there, nice golden color on the outside. We're going to go ahead and put that back in the pan. Add a little bit more of that coconut oil. As you can tell, it's going real good in that pan right now. So drop that guy. I'm going to have to kick on the hood fan because it's getting a little smoky in here. It's a lot smokier on the camera than it is in the kitchen because the camera is literally facing right next to the hood vent. So It's getting a lot of the smoke from that. So just wanted to let you know we're not burning the kitchen down. We're going to get a good sear on that guy, kind of move it around back and forth, make sure it's getting done.
Where does chicken cordon bleu originally come from?
So chicken cordon bleu, the first recorded recipe of it actually came from Switzerland, which is funny because cordon bleu is a French term. It means blue ribbon. But yeah, the first known recipe of it comes from Switzerland. And that's in the late 40s, I'm going to say 47, if I remember correctly. 1947.
Cool.
This one, of course, is not anything like chicken cordon bleu. It's more of a Tuscan roasted stuffed chicken. I don't know. We like to play. Alright. Now, those ones are both good and seared now, and they're going to be waiting for the oven. Right about now is a good time to check our vegetables and see how far they're coming along, and also check our other endeavors down here. So, let's see where we are with that. I'm going to pull up the vegetables first. They are cooking, but not exactly where I want them. I think I'm actually probably going to raise the temperature of the oven a little bit so that we can get them a little bit more crispy and golden. I'm going to go ahead and...
Dr. Jones!
Dr. Jones! Dr. Jones! It's a booty trap! That's what I said, booty trap! Alright. So I'm mixing the vegetables around a little bit. Kind of getting the juices back on them again, and then I'm going to throw them back in the oven. I want to make sure that they get crispy and golden brown. And in order to do that, I think I'm going to add just a little bit more brown sugar. Because it looks to me like it didn't get covered well enough. So I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit more brown sugar over that. Maybe slightly less than a tablespoon, probably. And then back in the oven for this guy. Next, we're going to check on the pan-seared. The pan-seared one that we did. So, our pan-seared chicken cordon bleu, it's looking 90% done. So that's looking nice. Matter of fact, I'm going to leave that out for a sec. See if we can't get this other one in. Next is the oven baked one. Now, as you can see, we didn't get a good color on this as much as the pan-seared one, but it is still crispy. I'd say it's probably got another 15 to 20 minutes to cook, though. So, back in the oven with that guy. And then we're now going to put our seared Tuscan chicken in the oven. That's probably going to take another 15 to 20 minutes. I'm going to jack the oven up now to 415 degrees. Weird number, I know, but I think that's where we should go. We'll keep these guys on here. Make sure that you don't grab this handle, because if you have regular mortal hands, it's going to burn you. It's been in that oven 375 degrees. But if you have immortal chef hands like Op9, you can manipulate that easily. So now I have a little bit of a downtime, so I'm going to actually do a little bit of cleanup here, try and help myself out so I don't have a huge mess afterwards. And actually, why don't we take a little bit of a break so we can see if we can fix OBS, and we'll be right back.